2023 started like, every year. January. It's the best way to start a year. This year, the House of Representatives had to nominate a new Speaker of the House. They nominated Kevin McCarthy. Had a vote. He was rejected. No problem. Have another vote. Rejected. Well, three's a charm, right? No, rejected again. They decided, they'll go home and sleep on it. So, meanwhile, over in the UK, Michael Smith wins the World Darts Championship. Yeah, big deal, right? He won $660,000. I mean, I'd have paid a lot more attention to my dart throwing when I was younger if I knew that, but anyway, back in the U.S., Congress gets back together and, hey, they're going to have a fourth vote for Mr. McCarthy. Rejected. But the fifth vote, no, that was rejected too. 60, thumbs down. Lucky 7 had to beat it. No. How about 8? I think the sun was in his eyes. Number 9, it rained that day. 10, he slept in, didn't make it. Number 11, well, no. 12, no. 13, no. Oh, God. 14, he can't take it anymore. 15, wait, what? He got in? Holy crap. All right, well, he won the gavel. Only thing is, he gave up so much to get the gavel. The gavel was all he got. Anyway, who says Congress can't get stuff done, right? On the 25th, Mark Zuckerberg, pictured here getting possessed by the devil, announced that research shows that lies and hate drive views more than truth and love. Since it's all about money to him, he does the one thing, he had to do, which was he reinstates the account of the king of lies and hate. Yeah, that's the guy. We jump to February. February 2nd. You know what happened then? Punxsutawney Phil, he comes out and he sees his shadow. I mean, really, that guy is the king of influencers when you think about it. 6 more weeks of winter. I mean, But anyway, that doesn't get us depressed. Why? Because we're all getting in this mood. The whole populace is getting in this state that can only be described as batshit crazy. That always seems to happen when there's a big sporting event coming. In this case, the Super Bowl. I don't really get it because your life doesn't change when this. It doesn't matter who. Okay, you can be why, but why is people so nutty? Did I miss something? Do I have to read the fine print? As far as I know, one team wins, one team loses, and we all go back to our lives. But I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Anyway, Kansas City beat somebody. I don't even remember, but it doesn't matter, right? It's just a game. That was Super Bowl 57, though. 57 Super Bowls. Now, all the euphoria that went with that game, it's all forgotten. And then gets built up again. Why? Because 1 week later you had the Daytona 500. Number 65. 65, can you believe it? And it was won by a guy, some guy driving a car. I don't know, like the previous 64 races. Gotta love live performances. So, you just pushed my door open. Anyway, this is Lucy. She's my cute little thing. I got her tail. I got your tail. I got your tail. Are we going to do this for long? So, Daytona 65. Think about that. Once a year for 65 years running, people were entertained by a race car going around an oval track. They get you thinking, if they can be entertained like that, how much would they be entertained if you could have that race car go anywhere? You gotta think about that, right? Well, someone did. Over at Universal Pictures, they announced that they have You gonna don't take my computer, you silly cat. There's a timeout here for feline problems. No, don't stop that. You gotta stop. You gotta stop that. going to be all right? Don't step on this. All right. So anyway, over at Universal Pictures, they thought about it, and they said, hey, we should set the wheels in motion to do sequels 11 through 100 of the Fast and Furious franchise. Yeah. So you better get ready to see that at a theater near you. Every year for the rest of your life. Hey, come here, Lucy. Come here. There you go. Let's jump to March. March 1st. Twitter goes down for 2 hours, but no one in the US notices because we're so obsessed with yesterday's news that Finland is building a wall on its border with Russia. And, wait for it, Mexico's gonna pay for it. Hey, maybe they figured it out. Our guy sure as hell didn't. On the 16th, England bans TikTok. On the 17th, New England does the same. And on the 18th, when President Biden, shown here trying to get a waiter, was asked if he was going to ban TikTok, he replied, hey man, some people find the TikTok of a clock soothing. I'm not taking that away from them. Well, he's got a point in a way, but... on the 20th, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change released its 6th assessment report. Yeah, 6. Basically, we just need to act or we're screwed. You know, but no one reads it because, well, we're all really talking about something really, really important. Really, really important. And that is, come here, you. And that is, back on March 17th, the number 16 seed, Fairleigh Dickinson, upset the number 1 seed, Purdue, in the NCAA basketball tournament. Now, I'm not sure what, why we're all talking about that, but anyway, I guess that was a big deal. Now, on the 27th, over in Europe, doing England one better, France bans TikTok. They ban Instagram. They ban Twitter. And they ban Victoria's Secret. When asked why they banned Victoria's Secret, spokesperson said that with all this social media taken away, people are going to have a lot of time on their hands. And in a country whose most famous national monument looks like a phallic symbol, she's funny. Anyway, in a country that has a national monument that looks like a phallic symbol, they don't need to encourage any more in their country because they have enough people already. Probably got a point there too. But on the 30th, a grand jury in Manhattan indicts Donald Trump for paying hush money to Stormy Daniels. This begs the question, in this kind of a situation, isn't all money paid to a hooker hush money? I mean, do you want a babbling hooker? I don't think so. You know, gee, Tony, I'll take the everything bagel with cream cheese and a coffee to go. And you want to know who I just gave a blowjob to? Not a good business paradigm, is it? Let me see. We jump to April. On the 1st, April 1st, Russia assumes the presidency of the United Nations Security Council, shown here set up for their weekly beer pong tournament. April Fools! Well, the beer pong thing was April Fools, but Russia taking over the presidency of the Security Council, that actually happened, you know, just ignoring all those women and children and men that they've murdered, I guess. The world is a weird place. Oh, on the 3rd in the NCAA basketball championship, 5th-seeded San Diego State took on 4th-seeded UConn and lost. And wait, does it say in the monitor? No upset, no mattress. Would we have got mattresses if they upset them? Because I could have used a new mattress. My mattress is lumpy. Well, way to go, San Diego State, you bunch of losers. Could have had myself a new mattress. Now I feel like breaking something. Maybe I should pull a goalpost down or something. Well, it's basketball, isn't it? Well, good luck trying to do that, I guess. Jeez. Anyway, moving on. April 14th. The European Space Agency launches the Juicy Icy Moons Explorer, sent to search for signs of life on the moons of Jupiter. 2 hours after the launch, Sean Combs, otherwise known as Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Taco, I don't know, he's got a lot of... Anyway, he said forget all those names. From now on, he wants to be known as Icy Moons. Can't blame him, can you? Let me see, on the 18th of April, after 25 years, Netflix ends its DVD rental service with the explanation that with their instant streaming service, you can watch a bad movie right now. That's really true, isn't it? On the 21st, Twitter, now known as X because too many of its users couldn't spell Twitter, drops the state-affiliated and government-funded labels used for accounts of media organizations. A spokesperson said, "Our users come here seeking validation. It doesn't matter to them who shares their BS opinion, just that someone does." And speaking of BS opinions, on April 24th, that was a day for firing. I tell you, Fox News fired Tucker Carlson. CNN fired Don Lemon. And President Biden, shown here, giving a review of the Super Mario Bros. Movie that was just released, fired up the engines of an F-22 just to be ready for any surprise balloon invasions. That's leadership. On the 6th of May, the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby, can't say it, the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby occurred. Wow, how dumb do you have to be amused by horses running around an oval track? Said Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR. On the 10th, Representative George Santos, shown here reacting to the question, which congressman is the biggest fraud, is charged with, wait for it, 13 counts of fraud, and was taken into custody. On May 14th, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky meets German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Berlin. No reason was given for the visit, but one can only hope that it wasn't to get how to win war advice from Germany. On the 28th, Indianapolis 500, and the big winner was the people from Hendersonville, Tennessee, who all won wine decanters. Why? Because that's where the winner was from. I'm getting to figure out this stuff. You got to pay attention. On the 31st, North Korea launched a spy satellite which successfully burned through its first stage, but on its second stage failed, and it crashed into the sea. North Korea has a word for this: bullseye. We move to June. June 1st, the U.S. passes the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. And on the 3rd, Biden signs the Fiscal Responsibility Act. At the same time, U.S. debt hits $32 trillion. You think they might have been a little late to the party? Just a thought. On the 8th, Donald Trump is indicted for mishandling classified documents. In his defense, he claims to not be in possession of even one document. Well, now. On June 12th, Pat Sajak announces his retirement from Wheel of Fortune, having hosted the show since blank 9 blank 1. On the 13th, Hockey Stanley Cup was decided as the Las Vegas Golden Knights beat somebody. To me, what is really amazing, it's really amazing because you have to consider the Las Vegas slogan shown here. On the 21st of June, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the commercial sale of lab-grown meat, making the United States a second country in the world to turn its entire population into lab rats. July starts out on the 1st, as it does every year. The European Space Agency successfully launches the Euclid Space Telescope to study dark matter and dark energy at the second Lagrange point 1.5 million kilometers from Earth. When word reached England, they responded, "We already got one," and went back to practicing darts. Of course, on the 4th, the day in America we all head out to celebrate, wearing underwear from Thailand, t-shirts from Malaysia, blue jeans from Bangladesh, sneakers from Indonesia, using a cell phone from China, and lying on a blanket from Vietnam to watch fireworks manufactured in India. And what are we celebrating? Our independence. That's ironic. On the 7th of July, President Biden, seen here pretending to be the Great White Icy Moons, announces the complete destruction of the United States chemical weapons stockpile, marking the elimination of all such weapons. He then adds, "Want to see me launch some F-22s and shoot balloons?" On the 10th, the world has the hottest week on record in the first part of July. This is attributed to climate change and the onset of El Nino. "Keeping El Nino out of the country is exactly why we need the wall," said Donald Trump. That's a tall wall. On the 20th, the North Korean defense minister warns if the U.S. deploys a submarine to South Korea, this could provoke his country to use nuclear weapons under its law. And as proof, he held up this. Looks official. August 2nd. Actually, the 6th. 4 days later, Barbie becomes the first solo female-directed film to hit $1 billion at the box office. Upon hearing this, Donald Trump declared he would have been the first if the system wasn't rigged. On the 31st, the Brazilian federal police questioned former President Jair Bolsonaro in an investigation in which he is accused of smuggling $3 million in diamond jewelry from Saudi Arabia. Bolsonaro, pictured here, says he has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. September 3rd. That was the beginning of Burning Man, the annual one-week celebration in the Nevada desert. The week started out okay, but then the rains came, creating a quagmire. Many people left, but some stayed, claiming they heard you can set fire to the rain. Yeah, that didn't happen, but eventually the effigy was burned 2 days late. Now, if there's a lesson to be learned here, it is that Adele is a great singer-songwriter, but she ain't no scientist. September 6th. The Mexican Supreme Court decriminalizes abortion nationwide, ruling that prohibiting the procedure is unconstitutional and a violation of women's rights. Shortly after, Mexico announces their plan to build a wall on the U.S. border, and Mexico will pay for it. For once, that might actually be true. On the 9th, the film Poor Things wins the Golden Lion Award at the Venice International Film Festival. And why do I tell you this? Just because, as a filmmaker, I'd love to win that award. I've been to Venice. It's a great city. And just to go there and go, hey, look, just to get a film up there was... Anyway, it's personal bucket list, I guess. We'll move on. On the 24th... How chill can you be? NASA's OSIRIS-REx capsule containing... NASA's OSIRIS-REx capsule containing samples from an asteroid successfully lands back on Earth. But we sent it back because the samples were cold. October 1st, the Albuquerque International Balloon Festival kicks off the month with food, a drone light show, chainsaw carving, skydiving, and the launching of over 500 hot air balloons. In related news, President Biden, shown here appearing as Tom Cruise at the senior citizens' home, orders a squadron of F-22s into the New Mexico airspace just to be safe. On the 3rd, Kevin McCarthy is removed as Speaker of the House in round 1 of voting. McCarthy states, though, that this proves he was an effective leader, because 9 months ago the House took 15 rounds of voting to get anything done. On the 13th, the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration reports a 99% likelihood of 2023 becoming the warmest year on record. So 99%, not 100 though. Well, then there's a chance it's all a hoax and it's not going to happen. Do the math. On the 24th of October, the Republican Party selects Tom Emmer as their nominee for Speaker of the House. But however, he withdraws 4 hours later. And with Game 7 of the National League playoffs just minutes away, desperation sets in. So they just yell, "Hey, Mike Johnson, you want to be Speaker?" Mike's like, "What? Sure." And that's how he got elected. By the way, if you're wondering, Arizona beat somebody to move on to this World Series. I think we won free pizza. Anyhow, November the 11th, Veterans Day, right? Veterans are honored across our country by a multitude of parades and fireworks. Donald Trump states that he would have been a veteran if the system wasn't rigged for the rich. And for the first time in history, the U.S. Supreme Court issues a code of conduct to govern the justices. When asked who would enforce this code, Justice Roberts said, "Well, that would be our..." On the 15th, President Biden holds talks with Chinese leader Xi in San Francisco, where the two leaders share a laugh when President Biden offers to loan Xi an F-22 so he can shoot down his own weather balloons before they reach the States. On the 22nd, Sam Altman returns as CEO of American artificial intelligence company OpenAI. Only days after being dismissed by the company's board, only days after being dismissed by the company's board of directors on November 17th. Perhaps the board of directors should be replaced by AI. December 1st. Okay. There's a break in the action. You gotta love your cats. Oh, I gotta love my cat. Hi, Lucy Lou. My Lucy Lou. Lucy Lou is 7, for those who are wondering. Just don't touch that. Then she likes to scratch her head on a computer. Oh, she's off screen. Okay. You can't see her here. Where are we? December. We were starting December, right, Lucy? On the 1st, George Santos, pictured here for once being the smart one in the photo, is expelled from the United States House of Representatives over criminal corruption charges and misspending campaign money. When asked to comment, he said, "You have me mixed up with someone else. I'm Prince Santos, a member of the royal family." Why not? On the 6th, Kevin McCarthy announces that he will resign from the White House at the end of the year, and he guarantees it won't take more than 3 attempts. Oh, would you stop? If I could reach the camera, I'd show you. She's going bonkers on my screen here. Anyhow, we'll be out here. Okay, on the 13th, NASA reports that Voyager 1, the farthest spacecraft from Earth, has stopped sending data back after 46 years. It can still receive commands, though. So, not talking, but still taking commands. Doesn't that sound like a husband in a marriage of 46 years? What? I had your tail. I got your tail. Okay. On the 14th of December, Finland announces the creation of a defense cooperation agreement with the U.S. The agreement will grant Finland access to American military resources for use in defensive operations. And in return, the U.S. will gain insight on how to get Mexico to pay for a damn wall. Anyway, that brings us to the end, to the 31st, where all around the world, people celebrate the arrival of 2024, or celebrated, I'll put it in the past tense. You know, I'm hoping maybe, yes, maybe we can return to a time when truth and empathy and love can rule over lies and narcissism and hate. I mean, where's Darwin here? Anyway, let's all hope, huh? Nice. Happy New Year.